Grand motherfucking evening, Soul Tribe Collective. This is your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage, here with a message of sorts. So let's just thank my dad, God. I appreciate you for all your guidance and wisdom and people that you placed within my energy, in my environment, and in my mind, and in my spirit, soul, my heart space, to tell me what it is I need to do or how to go about doing it. And I say need to do because God orders my steps. Now, we're just gonna be. I'm just gonna have a moment of honesty with everybody, whether you like me or you don't. I'm just an honest person. I don't know any other way to be, and I wouldn't want to be any other way. I'm hard-headed. I am stubborn, and I'm hard-headed, and I am full of resistance at times. Uh, so, class, have a seat. Uncle's talking. Got something to tell you. So, like, throughout my life, I have always been met with an overwhelmingly amount of resistance from people, places, energies, things, whatever. And so I've grown into a man who is about defending people, defending myself, and trying to invoke and evoke change within people, places, organizations, things of that nature. But I do get caught. I've always been caught up in the fight. And that's been part of my journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has proven to be effective, but a lot of times, I lose sight of the vision, of the end goal. And so, this has been a very clusterfuck of the last, I would say, almost 10 years of my life, but the last two have been extremely painstakingly difficult, yet rewarding at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But, not a but. I'll just say that it is time to listen. Mm-hmm. Oh, it sounds like raindrops, my bad. But it's time to listen. For me to listen. You know what I'm saying? And I listen all the time, but it's really just time for me to listen. Oh, that's the T. Okay. I'm tripping, G. But it's time for me to listen. And just listen, you know what I'm saying? To the universe, to myself, to other people. And listen to the energies surrounding me, the positive ones. Because the enemy's plan is the distraction. And I wrote something earlier. Hold on. I am literally like the scarecrow from The Wiz. I'm always kind of like, where did I put that? Oh, it's in my book. Let me pull it out of my ass. All right, but distractions. Don't focus on the distractions. Consider what you're being distracted from. I wrote that earlier. See, I'm hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? And so I do believe in walking the walk that I talk. But I have to I'm not perfect. I have to remind myself. You know what I'm saying? Just like I got to remind y'all, nieces and nephews and some of their parents and shit. I got to remind you, because when I'm reminding you, I'm also reminding me. And I'm never wanted to be that person who's like, because I fucking said so. Do as I say, not as I do. Because I always thought that was the dumbest shit to ever say to somebody. Because there's obviously going to be some type of, we're not going to go into that. But let's just say, friend, I know to some people, and it's important. I mean, who cares what people think? I do care what people think. Not in a way that is destructive to my progress or my being or my spirit, but I do care what people think, because I'm a light worker. I'm here to help people, and if people don't like if people aren't receptive to your energy, then you cannot help them. And what is more important? Is it more important to be the you that don't nobody like, or is met with all this resistance, or is it more important to be the you that is able to reach people no matter what they believe in, spiritual practices are, race, color, sexual identity, all that kind of shit? That's more important. So, I'm just going to read. I had to write it down because I'm a writer. That's what I do. This is how I manifest. This is how I find clarity. So, I talk to God and spirit all the time. There's two different things for me, but they're intertwined. Spirit is like Doreen, God's secretary. And so, but this was a conversation I had with God. A few years ago, I made a commitment. I promised God. I said, God, if 4:54 on the clock. I said, God, if you make sure that I don't have to really worry about bills, a place to live, and just all these other things. If you could just give me some time away from getting up and going to work every day, because just got tired of working for people. I just wanted to when I really got into my spiritual awakening, I knew that I was here to work for God. So he made it that way. I have, and then there were times I had a lot of money, and there were times I just didn't have any, but I always had a roof over my head and a place to sleep, a place to, food to eat. And, my needs were met. I may not have had everything that I wanted, but my needs were met, and that's just how it goes. God knew that I was on my way to go through hell. He didn't tell me. Everything came without a warning, and that's the way it was supposed to be. To build endurance and strength and wisdom, knowledge, compassion, empathy, just to increase my spiritual gifts that were already there. So, God is shaking things up, because it's like, okay, it's been 4 years, Dwayne. These people have stood in your way and made it harder for you, but what have you actually done to move forward? That's a good question. So I had a conversation with him. And so I wrote, when Spirit talks to you, listen, and then have a conversation. I said, God asked me, he said, what do you want? And I said, love, And he's like, love, or do you just love to be right? I said, love, of course. And he said, then stop being pussy and love yourself enough to stop being right and just be righteous. This is kind of hard for me to do, so don't talk shit. All right, I've already got tears in my eyes and shit. But this is part of the process. I'm not here to be pretty, although I am. I'm not here to be funny, although I am. I'm all these things, and those are jokes. So get off my back, people. Like, for real, But that's what you do, But this is me being vulnerable. I'm always vulnerable with people, and I'm just being honest. And I don't make eye contact when I'm vulnerable, so just bear with me. So I said, I'm sorry that I disappointed you. And then he replied, you haven't disappointed me, son. I love you and don't want you to be disappointed in yourself. Break that curse. You've already broken so many others. I said, but I'm afraid. And he said, of what? And then I said, not being able to help people, never having a place to call home, never falling in love again, never being able to know peace. And he said, we will work on that. Remember, we made an agreement. And I said, yeah, I remember. And he said, yeah. I said, yes. Yes, I remember. My apologies. This is a real conversation I'm having. He said, you're good. I said, so what do I do now? I feel defeated. He said, you did just admit it, so I guess you are. I said, you're right. Let me rephrase. I am afraid, and I don't know how to do what I was sent here to do. He replies, I understand. Just be righteous and kind and honest. Continue to be of nobility. And I asked, with all due respect, are you sure? He said, do I lie? I said, nope. He said, then there's your answer. To be honest, everyone is out of your way and will continue to be moved. That's our new agreement, provided you remain obedient and righteous. Agreed? I said, yep. He said, then do what you do best. Love righteously and righteously love. And then we fist bumped. And that's what I got out of that. And I just wanted to add, just thank you for listening to this. You know what I'm saying? People don't have to, but, doing tarot has been a way for me to heal, to gain insight, to show people that I am not a liar. I'm not somebody who just pulls shit out of thin air. There's a connection to God, but I don't need the cards for that, and I never really truly did. But it was good for me to understand, to show me that I actually, what I'm experiencing is real. These things are real, and they do provide confirmation, but we already know. Confirmation is just somebody else going, it's true, but we already know. And so I've been listening to my spirit guides and spirit teams. I've been paying attention to my environment, and I've been bombarded with just a lot of different things over the last few years. A lot of attacks that just are like some shit that just is in a movie. And so I've been scatterbrained. I've been very defensive, and I've been hurt. I've been traumatized, and I'm healing from that. A lot of things I've healed from, but I'm still working through the process. It's a continuous cycle. I have to constantly remind myself everything is okay, Dwayne. A million times a day, I have to remind myself it's going to be all right. And not to say that nobody else does, but I'm telling you that the shit that I've gone through, I have to remind myself that once or twice an hour, it's going to be okay. Nobody's coming to get you. Nobody's going to kill you. Nobody's going to come put you out. Love is going to find you. I have to remind myself, but it's like I discussed earlier. These are things out of fear. And I'm doing very well as, switching the mindset, because part of this dark night of the soul, part of this spiritual journey is you have to get it within yourself before you can receive it from other people or situations or energies. So I'm just here today. I just made an agreement with God, and I don't believe in backing out on anything any agreements I make with him. And I would advise anybody that goes against anybody that's made an agreement with God, because it's going to take you out. You're going to get wiped out. That's just it. That's all. And so I'm no longer going to worry about karmic relationships in the past, energies coming towards me to steal my content and do things, blah, blah, blah. Because we all know that tarot pretty much has turned into a market for people just to rack up cash. And if you are good at what you do and they see that you can take away from their money, they can have it, because that's all they care about. But I care about you, collective. I care about me, collective. I care about my future just like I care about your future. I care about the ascension of us all and creating some righteous change in this world that we need, outside of being able to flip a card and mystify people. Do you feel me? So I've been instructed to head in a clearly different direction as far as how I want to go about doing the things I just discussed. And I'm going to meditate on these things. I'm going to really just take a step back and stop being so fucking hard-headed and scared, and just figure out how I'm going to go about moving forward with the vision that I have in my head. Now, I don't like to ask people for help. I will get help if I need it, but I hate asking people for help because people have just abused the fuck out of me in that area. But again, I have to leave that behind, because nobody's really here to hurt me. That is coming towards me. These people are not here to hurt me. It's the energy that I draw in with the things that I'm doing, and I'm not doing anything wrong, but there's just, if what's more important, being right or being righteous? I just want to be righteous. And part about being an adult for younger people is understanding that sacrifices do have to be made. And if it's a sacrifice, if you're sacrificing, and not self-sacrificing, but if you're sacrificing something that's not taking you anywhere, that you may enjoy, you like, but it's not helping you, part about being an adult and being mature and responsible is knowing that there's other things that can make you happy, things that you can enjoy to do besides something that's bringing you a lot of grief. Now, I'm not saying, because most of the shit that's going on in my life was going on before I started flipping cards, but it's just been a bigger avenue for more people to come out and attack me, and it's not worth it. You're worth it. I am worth it. So I would feel more comfortable being able to assist the collective, do my part in the spiritual ascension of Earth and its inhabitants, the 144. I would be much better utilized in a space that is universally kind of that has a universal language, a love language that everybody understands, instead of a love language that I personally love that people just don't understand. There's no translation. There will never be for certain things. And I understand that. But I also understand the bigger picture. So I'm about to take me some time off, y'all. In the meantime, I'll be meditating. I will be getting closer to God. I will be headed in my righteous path, the righteous direction, the correct direction for me, because I understand the bigger picture, and I need to stop being so hard-headed and defensive. It's over. It's a done deal. I got it. And I accept that, and I'm embracing that. So, collective, until next time, this is your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage, Grand Motherfucking Rising. You grow, I grow, I grow, you grow, we grow together. And hopefully when I come back, y'all still be ready to grow with a nigga. All right? I love you. Have a blessed night, and deuces.